All right, Nick, let's talk about the Chicago Bears. Great start to the free agency period for the Bears. I think they've made a lot of really smart moves and bolstered the right positions. This move in particular, we're going to talk about today, I think is probably at the top of the list because it's about the offensive line, and that's always at the top of our list. Let's get into the article, and we'll talk more about it on the other side. This is over on X, so it's a tweet or X, Z, however you want to say it, rather than an article. It's from Adam Schefter. It says, a Bears announced they've agreed to terms with former Rams center Coleman Shelton on a 1-year contract. Nick, I think this was a great pickup by the Bears. Shelton did very well with the Rams. Curious what your thoughts are on this move. But Bears fans in the comment section below, came into free agency, ton of cap space. You still got a little bit left. What moves are you waiting to see the Bears make? Let us know in the comment section below. But Nick, what are your thoughts on this latest move by the Bears?
Yeah, I think it's one of these under the radar signings that doesn't make all the headlines when you hear about the big moves happening in free agency on ESPN or Fox Sports or wherever. But I think this is really important. If you go back to the 2023 season, the Bears' primary starter at center, Lucas Patrick, according to PFF, was the 27th best center in football. That's bottom five. Obviously, it's not bottom five or six. It's not very good. Obviously, you've got Coleman Shelton ranked number 16th, dead middle of the pack. Is he a Pro Bowler? No. Is he a superstar? No. But you know what he does do? He brings you up from terrible at center to league average. And that's one of the hidden secrets of success in the National Football League. If you can get quarterback right, if you can have a couple of stars, which I think the Bears do. DJ Moore is a star. Montez Sweat is a star, right? They've got a couple of those stars in key places on both sides of the football. I think they're going to get quarterback right. Looks like Caleb Williams will have to wait and see how that whole situation handles itself. But quarterback will be settled this offseason. That's a guaranteed. So you're going to have quarterback right. They're going to have a couple key stars. And then outside of that, you just don't want to be terrible anywhere. You want to make sure you have a complete solid baseline roster. What derails talented teams is being really bad at a couple key positions, right? The Dallas Cowboys are really bad at linebacker. They got knocked out in the first round, obviously. The Detroit Lions can't tackle in the secondary. They're terrible on the back end. They blew the big lead against San Francisco, right? Every good team has every good team that's not a great team usually has one or two positions where they're absolutely terrible, and that can derail a talented squad. The Bears are starting to build talent. I think they're closer and closer to becoming a good team, a playoff contender. And I love the fact that Ryan Poles and company are recognizing that a position like center last year, they were terrible. That would be a killer weakness with Caleb Williams, with a revamped offense and defense going to 2024. If they were still bad at center, this move right here takes them up from really bad to average. I think this is a smart move by the Bears. I think this will have a lot bigger impact than people think.
Yeah, Nick. And I think Bears fans might be looking at us and say, hey, guys, what about Bates? What about Ryan Bates, the other center they already brought in? Well, I'll tell you this, Nick. Bates
Back up.
played 35 snaps last season. You look at a guy like Coleman Shelton, played 1,113 snaps last season. I think that you have the more seasoned veteran starter here. Plus, Shelton brings a lot to the table in terms of run blocking. A great run blocking grade last season, 72.6. And with the new addition to the running back room as well, I think the Bears are going to be keeping that trend of being a very good running football team. So having a guy like Shelton at center going to be a great move for them. But I think you alluded to there just a second. I think what the Bears are doing, they're doubling down. They're getting depth at the offensive line, something that they didn't really have a whole lot of in spades last year. And having a guy like Ryan Bates, bringing him in early as a depth piece to back up a guy like Shelton, I think that was a great preemptive move because they didn't even really know who the starter was going to be, but they identifies, hey, Bates, he could be a really great secondary player for us, bounce around interior of this offensive line, give us a little bit of depth. So Bears already thinking ahead, thinking about depth, thinking about late season runs with that depth. So I think they're making some really smart moves, and I like what Ryan Poles have done so far.
And there's another element to this, right? If they go young quarterback, if they go rookie, which it seems like they will, right? Drafting Caleb Williams. Obviously, the two most important relationships Caleb Williams is going to have is with the offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, and with his new center, Coleman Shelton, right? You want your new OC and your new center to be on page with your rookie quarterback. The great news is Waldron has already coached Shelton. Waldron spent a lot of time in Los Angeles Rams. Coleman Shelton joined the Los Angeles Rams in 2019. They're on the same page with terminology, with play design, with run schemes, with timing and things like that. Waldron and Shelton are going to go into this thing day one, seeing eye to eye in total agreement. That's going to have a big impact on their rookie quarterback's development. I think this is a really smart move by the Bears here. And again, it's not all about going from average at a position to great. Sometimes it's about going from bad to average. And that's exactly what the Bears here. And I love the fact you brought up Ryan Bates. They're adding depth at the key position as well. Overall, I know the Bears have made some interesting moves. I know people are waiting for Justin Fields, but it's these kind of decisions right here. The signing of a guy like Coleman Shelton, while not making the big headlines right now in March, I think will have a big impact come September.